Good morning, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. So happy to see you back. First of all, before we do anything, just go say hi in the comments. Just be like, hi, people. Hi, sacred community. Hello, loves. Whatever you want to say. Let's get the vortex going. One of the major reasons why women succeed in business is energy. And I don't mean like Tony Robbins, like rah, rah, rah. I mean energy, like connection, oxytocin, being in a tribe, a community of people who we connect with. And part of that is actually showing up. If you want a community, be a community. If you want a friend, be a friend. Show up, say hi. Say, hi, people. I had such a great time with you yesterday. Hey, y'all, what's up? Whatever you want to say. Let's just get the energy going. Not like fake energy. Just be like, you know what? I'm here. And how we show up here, this is a microcosm of how you show up in the world. Does that make sense? Nod if that makes sense, right? Yeah. So, like, let's actually show up. So, I love the positive energy too. Hello, hello, and you're here. I'm so happy to have you here. Hello, Anne, Alex, Maestra, Barbara, Diana. We got Tony. Hey, Tony. Good to see you. Hello, Sunita, Karina. Hello. I want to hear some breakthroughs. I want to hear some things that you thought about last night, that you thought about as you were waking up. What shifted? Raise your hand, put it in the comments. I'm also happy to call on someone, not to like put you on the spot, but just because I don't know, I feel like so many of us just kind of sit alone in our houses, in our rooms, at our desks, and women. Tell me if you agree with this by putting yes in the comments. Women are feeling isolated in their business. Yes or yes, right? Oh, yes. Oh, the hell yes. And so I find it fascinating that like we hide ourselves, we don't put our video on. We say we want connection, but we don't show up. I'm not making you wrong. I'm not making you wrong if you don't have your video on, but I'm saying be courageous today. Be courageous. Turn on that video. Let me see your soul. Let me see your eyes. You're getting feisty, Fabienne, today. I'm wearing the chartreuse color. I got this dress yesterday. What do you think? Do you like my new belt? I got it in Saint-Rémy de Provence yesterday. I'm feeling feisty, feisty Fabienne. What women are craving community of like-minded souls, and yet somehow we hide. What's up with that? What's up with that? I know we have this world that shuts us down. Would you agree? Raise your little hand if you agree that sometimes the world shuts us down, that we're the second sex, that we like have to do everything for everybody. But like this is a space where you can take up space. So I'm only going to say it once today. I'm going to say it to Amy, Ange, Annette, AR, Cheryl, Colette, everybody here. Jaspreet, you're on. Good for you. Uh, Everyone here, Laura, come on, let's get those videos on. Why are we doing that? I'm not blaming you. I'm just inviting you to take up some space. If any of you have been in one of my 3-day events, whether it was in California or Florida or Connecticut, New York or London, I would see women come up to the mic and they would apologize, right? So they get the, hey, Ange, hey, Carrie Ann, good to see you. So good to see you. And I'd see her come up to the mic, and what would be the first thing she would do? You tell me in the comments. What is the first thing she would say? 2 words. Type it. I am sorry. I'm sorry for my hair. I'm sorry that I'm coming up, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry that I'm so short. I'm sorry that I don't have a question formally formed. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And oh my God, you guys, why are we apologizing for existing? Right, Ange? Why are we apologizing for existing? And you may not know this. Okay. I was just thinking about the fact that many of you probably don't even know who I am. I didn't even introduce myself the last 2 days. That's freaking hysterical. I can introduce myself later. It doesn't actually matter because this is all about you. If you want to know about me, I can tell you about me later. But my real reason for business is not what you think. Why do you think I help women make their own money and lots of it? Can you put it in the comments? I'm going to actually wait for 2 or 3 people to put something in the comments. Why do I help? Yep, Carrie Ann, what else? Yep, Barbara, what else? Yes, 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 all of it. Because, oh my God, I can't believe I'm starting this way. I'm going to cry again. I always tell people, I want you to be the fullest expression of who you really are. And sometimes I hold back too. So I really believe that when a woman, and by the way, Tony, Joe, you're good here. We welcome you. I'm just speaking to the ladies right now. Is that okay? Can I get a thumbs up, right? When a woman makes her own money and lots of it, she has a voice and a choice. If you agree, put yes or whatever you want to put something in the comments. I can tell you, I have had what feels like a million conversations with women apologizing for existing, or they cannot leave a situation, whether that's a full-time job or a relationship or getting out of their mom's home or an abusive relationship or whatever, because they are in financial imprisonment. I'm going there early, 12 minutes into this. I want you to make your own money and lots of it. I want you to take up space. And what I have found with my big brain and 55 years on this planet, I will be 56 in like 2 weeks. Leo baby here. What I have learned in 55 and like 9/10 is that in a relationship, any relationship, whoever makes the most money wins whatever the argument is, whatever the decision is. Maestra, do you agree? Right? Always. And so what I decided to play with is like, what if every woman that spends time with me ends up being the one who makes the most money, and then she has a voice and a choice? Now, what do we do? Now, how much freedom does she have? That's the game I'm playing. But I don't say that on my website. I don't say that. I say that I'll help you get to multiple 6 figures and 7 figures with 14 weeks of vacation. You get it, Tony? Yes, I totally get that you tamp down things for others, and I honor you for being here. Your 55 club is a great club. Thank you. Thank you. I want to hear from a couple of you. Just raise your hand. What was your biggest breakthrough the last 2 days so far? Or what are you excited for today? Hey, Sarah. Hey, Helen. Glad to see you here. Hey, Colette. Hey, Cecile. I want to hear, don't be shy. Raise your hand, unmute yourself. What do you want to get today? What did you get the last few days? Anne. I'm going to say Anne because, I'm French, but Anne.
Yeah, but I'm from Europe, so it's okay.
Perfect, Anne.
Yeah. So my biggest takeaway is how my life is now coming together. and how this what you're teaching here applies to my life in general. I'm right now doing a master's in learning and innovative change processes. So it just applies to that. It applies. So everything comes together, and what you teach here is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It is a way of living, it's a way of approaching life, it's a way of approaching ourselves, and it's a way to set up our home. So yes, it applies to business, but actually it applies to a lot more.
High five. I was trying to curl my hair before today, before our gathering, and I was like, it's not really staying. You want to know why? I have sunscreen in my hair because I was at the pool today. I was at the pool. I grilled some fish. We have a friend from the Netherlands here. I made delicious food. We talked. I chilled today. And so, with your permission, I did not wash my hair. I'm thinking it's not that bad, even with sunscreen on. The whole idea is that life is to be enjoyed. So 14 weeks off, protecting that time, whether you take vacation or you work on your book or you do whatever you want to do. I want, like, there's this French word called kiffer. I may have mentioned this on day one because I'm like, that's like my new favorite word. Kiffer means to fully enjoy, like squeeze the enjoyment. You can look it up, Kiffer. Squeeze the enjoyment out of that moment. Je kiffe. First of all, I kiffe you. Okay. You are all amazing. I kiffe you. That's weird. Nobody's ever said that before. But I want to kiffe the day. I want you to kiffe your business. I want you to kiffe 14 weeks. I listen, when we're going to talk today about best practices, and it's not like you're going to take 14 weeks off next week. Okay. We're going to take this little by little, one foot in front of the other. But I want you to write this down, please, because this is kind of my mantra. Okay. My mantra in my life, how good can I actually stand to have it? How good will I allow myself to have it? How good will you allow your life to be? And you know what, friends? Since I'm already on my soapbox, before I even get into the next two pillars, I'm just going to say what I really want to say. In our masculine business circle, listen, I love the guys. I'm married to the man of my dreams. I have 3 kids. 2 of them are men that I'm raising to be gentlemen. Okay. I love the guys. Some guys' attitudes I don't like. You know what I mean? But in this business world, we are taught more, 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 at the exclusion of what? There's one word, and the word is usually preceded by sinful or guilty. Can you put the word in the comments? Put the word in the comments. Pleasure. Sinful pleasure, guilty pleasure. I do not subscribe to that, dear friends. I want you to impact more people. I want you to help more people. I want you to make a difference in people's lives. I want you to make more money, lots of it, so you have a voice and a choice. I'm not into guilt either, April. Yeah, joy, Diana, pleasures. Yeah, guilty when my sister and mother do not have this. Yes, Karina. Yes, Sunita. I want you to have it all. I want you to have impact, touch more people. That's why you started your business. You started your business for 2 reasons. If I dare say that I think I know you just a little bit if you're here. You started because you want to help more people, and you started because you want freedom. Raise your hand if that's true. Okay. And then you want to make your own money, right? But that like was never part of the first two equations for most of the women that I get to work with, including myself. It wasn't, if I said to myself, if I can just make $65,000 a year, because that's the last amount of money I made in corporate selling ad space, magazine ad space for Food and Wine magazine. If I can just make $65,000 a year without having to report to anyone, I'll be so happy. And then I got into the trap and I got burnt out, like I shared with you through my tears on day one. And while it afforded us a really nice house by the beach, I was trapped, absolutely chained to my business, to my clients, to my team, to my desk. I don't want that for me, for you. So, how good will I allow myself to have it? And the way we do that is to have the right strategy. And it's not the strategy that the guys are teaching you, because the guys are here to provide and protect. And for them, the way to provide and protect, in part, I'm totally generalizing. Don't let this go out to the public, okay? But part of that is for them to make a lot of money and to have status, because men look at each other and look at their status and they say, oh, you got it. All right. So there's the watch and the Maserati and the Lamborghini and the that. You don't want a Lamborghini. Am I correct? But you want Fridays off. You want the last week of every month off. You want to take August and December off. Am I right? Give me a high five if you know I'm right. So we're going to do things differently. This is what Bold Heart is about. Put your ear to your heart. Listen hard. What does your heart say? Heart storm, don't brainstorm. And then boldly go after that. That's what we're doing here. Somebody say yes in the comments. I'm pulling up my screen. Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. 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 Money is one way, but it's not the entire way. Not for everyone that's here. I know that for sure. I've been around this planet too long and I've coached tens of thousands of women. None of them wanted a Lamborghini. So let me rearrange everything here. So how do you take 14 weeks off from your business every year? Now I'm changing this to day 3. Day 3. We had the map, we had the method, and now we have the move. That's what we're doing. Okay. So yesterday we named the problem, right? The problem, you found your bottleneck, you made it doable. Hold on one second. I'm on the wrong thing. There we are. Um, yesterday we did the honest work. We realized that it was never about permission that you gave yourself. It's your team that is waiting because no one wrote the rules down for them. Okay. So your job, as we talked about yesterday, is not to be more available. It's to write down the rules once so that the team doesn't need to keep peppering you with questions. Okay. The second thing we got in our honest work yesterday is that decision buckets, bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3, and an operations manual is the difference between a business that owns you and a business that you own, right? And if you missed yesterday, in your email is the replay. And so today we're going to name the thing that everything rests on. Okay, we're going to do the last 2 pillars. There's 6 pillars. We're going to do the last 2. And how to genuinely let go of control in your business and have it be okay without you being there. So your business continues to make money, and continues to live without you being there, and exactly what to do about it. Okay, so day 2 was uncomfortable for some because it produced a gap, right? And it felt like maybe you don't have the right pieces in place, which means there's nothing wrong with you. It just means there's an opportunity for growth. Today is about what we do about it. Today is everything from the last 2 days getting resolved. And by the end of today, you are going to have the whole map, right? You have the first 4 pillars. You're going to get the next 2. And I don't want you to walk away with an inspired feeling. You're going to walk away with an exact next step. So I'm just going to, before I get into the next 2 pillars, give you like a 60-second thing about me. How many of you don't actually know me, have never met me before? Put me in the comments. Me. You don't even know. It's like some of you know me for years, right? Okay, you've never heard about me. You don't know who I am. Maybe you saw an ad or something. Just one person, just Tony. That's it. Everybody else knows about me. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to give you the 60-second. I have been called an OG and I twice, and I'm like, is that a compliment? But I guess it is. I've been a business coach for 25 years. I started my business in, I guess maybe you could call it 26 years now. I started my business in 1999 and as a holistic nutritionist, and I didn't have enough clients. And my dad, I called him in the middle of the night and I said, I can't pay my bills. And he said, go back to corporate. I said, never. He's like, then you're going to need to figure out how to get clients, right? So I created, I'm going to give you like the really short version. I created the client attraction system. And then I stopped being a holistic nutritionist and I became a business coach. And in the beginning, does anybody remember my client attraction days? Anybody here? Yeah. Oh my God. 3 or 4 of you, Colette too. Oh my God. So I was the client attraction girl, clientattraction.com, client attraction system, client attraction bootcamp, client attraction inner circle, winners academy, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then I got to 6 figures and I realized that I was working too many hours, not making enough money, not seeing my family and all that. I'm just going to absolutely fast forward and say that in 2008, for the very first time, October 9th, 2008, I crossed the $1 million mark for the first time. That was, if I'm doing the math, that's 17 or 18 years ago. I'm just going to let that rest for a second. Not about me, but the fact that a woman with 3 little kids, you saw the picture on day 1, 3 little kids can get to $1 million with a healthy relationship with her husband and being present for her kids, can do that and still be at 7 figures a year, 18 years later, and take 14 weeks. I'm just going to rest on that and be like, I'm actually proud of myself for figuring that out because no mentor taught me how to do this, right? There's no other woman I know, no woman I know who's teaching this and living this on this planet that I know of. So, yeah, original gangster. um, Pioneer originator. Thank you, Tony. So the reason I share this with you is in case you don't know me, this is what I do now. I teach women how to get from 5 to 6 figures with enjoyment and from 6 to 7 figures. Even if you think that you are never going to get to 7 figures, you will. If you follow the steps that I talk about here, or you ever do something with me within Bold Heart, okay? And I'll just park this in your notes. I'm not selling anything today. Park this in your notes, boldheart.com, and then go look at the success stories. Not because of anything other than you seeing what's possible for yourself. No woman that I've ever taken to 7 figures actually thought she would get to 7 figures when she first started to work with me. That's it. Okay. So that's all I'm going to say. That probably took more than a minute, but let's look at pillar 5. What do you want? Oh, the car keys? Wait, hold on. I'm doing a whole, I know. Say hi to everybody. This is my husband, Derek, and he wants my car keys. Hold on. Say hi.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you, everyone. Sorry to interrupt, but
That is hysterical.
Fabienne has a tendency to take the car keys and put them in her purse and then take the purse everywhere, including her office when she's doing
All
an
right.
event.
I love you. Go, 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 go. I'm on pillar 5, Derek. Oh, he's making steaks on the grill and he has to go buy the steak. All right. This is pillar 5. Pillar 5 is digital detox. Okay. So just write that down. Digital detox. This is the pillar that most people think is actually the entire thing, but it's not. Okay, well, I'm going to go take you through it. It's not rocket science, but it is part of what we're talking about. Now, people think that unplugging is about, hey, Gina, good to see you. People think that unplugging is willpower. It's not willpower. It is the last step that only works when the the next step only works when the first 4 exist, right? So the first time that you tried to take unplugged time off, you brought the laptop. Tell me that's true. You went on vacation with your laptop, right, Alex? Right, Gina? Right, Laura? You always do, right? Guilty? Sunita? Amy? Hi, Amy. Good to see you, darling. Yep, Ange. So why? Because you don't fully trust. Is that true? Give me a nod if that's true, right? You brought the laptop because you don't fully trust or you don't think it's all set up. So it's because the first 4 are not in place. If you had the operations manual, if you had the team, if you had the rules, if you had all of that, the person who was the point person, you wouldn't take your laptop with you. Okay. So let's get into it. The digital detox. What are the specifics? Let's talk about concrete mechanics of being genuinely unreachable. You know this, but you haven't necessarily done it. Disable the email pings on your damn phone. I say damn phone because in my family, I'm always like, where's my damn phone? Who took my damn phone? Disable the email pings on your damn phone. Okay. Digital detox means that you can put your phone or your laptop in the trunk of the car, not bring it on vacation, leave everything in the office because you have a single point of contact. This is what we dealt with on the first day. You have to put somebody in place. You put it to silent. Yep. You went on a cruise for your daughter's 13th birthday. You brought your laptop. You never opened it, but you always take it. I understand. I understand. I get that. You'll get to a point, Tony, where you won't need to because you will have everything in place and no urgency. Unless somebody's bleeding, there will be nothing urgent enough that you will have to get on your computer. So what do you do with the urge to check? Right? That's the thing. Laura, can I call on you? Do you ever have the urge to check? Like you're supposed to be on vacation or it's the weekend, but you're like checking your damn phone. Do you mind unmuting yourself, Laura? Or am I just like being too
Yeah.
forced? So what happens when you're like checking?
Well, I have to go to a place where I can't even get cellular reception. So
Yeah.
it goes, it was going to Alaska, it was going to remote locations. And that's how I finally, it was a forced behavior change. So when
Yeah.
you're there for 3 weeks and you know that you have the things in place and the technology is not going to work, that's when it finally clicked.
Yeah. Thank you. And so how do you think, well, I've got you here, how do you think that we could create those circumstances, conditions even when you have signal.
So for me, it was creating habits and boundaries. But then it's also this juxtaposition about how many team members do you have? How much is the payroll? Trying to find that right balance. And then
Yeah.
understanding that year to year, you may experiment with slightly different model.
Yeah.
But it's when you're in transition or when you're training someone new or you have a transition of a key role that you suddenly step back in and you say, well, this is just for X period of time, right? Just
Yeah.
for this quarter, just for the next 30 or 60 or 90 days.
Yeah.
So breaking that habit completely and having one team member train another so you don't have to step back in is ultimately the goal I'm trying to go after now.
Yeah, and I think you really nailed it in the last part. I mean, I'm not discounting everything else you said because that was super valid, but I really want to underline the part about having a team member who can own it and be your single point of contact. I know I'm saying this again and again and again, but a person who is going to be responsible for fielding all the things, and you could say, you know what? You know how to reach me. You know, I've given you the rules. Don't reach me until something is drastically urgent. And this is what you can do, friends. We did it yesterday or the next day. Let go and be vacation girl, right? Be vacation girl. Allow yourself to fully let go. That is digital detox. There are two parts of it. There's 5%, which is don't bring your phone, don't bring your laptop, da 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 da, right? And then I will say the biggest one is actually subconscious. It's having the mindset of someone who doesn't check in. The identity of the business owner who doesn't have to check in. And that is much more powerful than any tactic. Like, yeah, sure, take your email off your phone. Don't bring your laptop. But say it with me. I am a business owner who doesn't need to check in. I am a business owner who doesn't need to check in. I am a business owner who doesn't need to check in. I am a business owner who doesn't need to check in. This is my identity. This is how I see myself. Part of scaling a business, the more time you spend with me, the more time you realize that everything is a mindset first methodology. Why? Because 95% of actions come from the subconscious mind. Only 5% of actions come from willpower. So the identity is massively important. Digital detox starts with identity. I am someone who doesn't need to check in. Right? It's not a willpower failure. It is an identity misalignment. So you bring the laptop because part of you knows that you need to check in. Subconscious, Alex. 5% is willpower, which is the conscious mind, and 95%, this is what I teach in my mindset trainings, right? The mindset deep dive, the 3-day, like full days, 3-day event, full days, is me teaching you all of the stuff that gets you from not taking action, not making money, not growing your business to making it go. Because all action comes from the subconscious, 95% of it, right? So we fix the identity and then the laptop stays home on its own. Put one word in the comments about how you feel about that. Is that surprising to you? You once had a boss who went to Italy without telling you. It feels peaceful, Anne. Thank you, Gina. You thought that was rude. Yeah, interesting. Freeing, Amy. Cecile, good to hear it again. Maestra, I can relax. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Entirely new concept. The more time you spend with me, I hope you do, Alex, it's your choice. Keep following me, whatever. The more you realize that mindset is everything. Everything I teach in my day-to-day with the women who choose to work with me, it starts with mindset because that's how it actually sticks. Pillar number 6 is best practices. Okay. Pillar number 6, best practices. And the life I want. Yeah. So number 6 is that this isn't going to happen overnight, friends. Okay. I have programs that are 1 and 2 years, and people will say, oh, other people have a 12-week program. I'm like, yeah, other people are not going to take you to 7 figures in 12 weeks with 14 weeks or 12 months with 14 weeks of vacation. Okay. You're going to, we need to put a lot of things in place. 14 weeks of protected time is where you start small. So what I've seen people do is they try to like go really big and then there was a block in the road and then they gave up. Raise your hand if you've ever tried to do something big and then it was like, oh, crap, right? And then you're like, oh, it's not for me, right? Amy, Ange, Tony? Yeah. So we're going to start small and we're going to build over the years. And this is not what other people in my space will tell you because they're going to tell you thinner thighs in 30 days. They're going to tell you we're going to get to 1 million in a weekend. They're going to tell you 12 weeks and you'll be able to XYZ. No, we have got infrastructure to build in your business. We've got to get the operations manual. We've got to get the right team, the point person. We've got the right business model right now. Maybe your business model won't allow you to take time off because your clients are expecting you to be there all the time because you've been spoon feeding them. I'm not judging. I love you. We need to make some changes to your business model as well. Okay. So we're going to start small, build over the years. A week will eventually become 14, but gradually. Okay. It took me a while. We're going to start with 1 day next month. Completely unplugged. So today is Thursday, July 30th. I know some of you have vacation next month in August. Who has a vacation planned next month? Raise your hand. Okay. I invite you. I want you to take 1 day, no laptop with you. Even if you bring it on vacation, you put it under your mattress at the hotel, right? Or at the lake house or whatever. You put it away. You don't check on a weekday. I'm not talking about Saturday, Sunday, on a weekday. You don't look at your emails. You don't check in with the team, okay? And then 2 days, fully unplugged. And then, I hope you write this down, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then, eventually the full week. Full week, no checking in. What's coming up? What's the fear? What's the belief? Put it in the comments. I want to hear it. That can't happen, Fabienne. My team isn't ready. I don't have the operations written down yet. Well, it's a bliss. Yes, thank you, Ange. Right? Like what's coming up when I say eventually the full week, no checking in, right? And it's doable little by little, right? Operations manual, not enough. My team isn't ready. Definitely need to train my team to not contact me before doing that. Yes, Amy. Are we expected to explain this plan to our employees? Yeah, you can tell them, I won't get you so you can be autonomous enough to not contact me for a full week. Alex, system's not in place. I get it. I get that. Nothing's wrong with you. It's just we got work to do, right? Clone to deliver, not ready. Yeah, your mini me is not ready, Cecile. I don't have a team, and it's perfectly fine because I can build around it. Yeah, your team can do when you empower them. Absolutely. So we're going to make it achievable rather than all or nothing. And one of those things is what we talked about on day one. You're going to book your time off in advance. You're going to alert the clients. You're going to set them up. You're going to tell them, I'm not available for that exact week. Whenever you take that week, 2027, end of 2026, that whole week, you say, I'm unavailable. Team, I am unavailable. And then reverse engineer how they can be okay without you for that full week. And tell them, you can even tell them, even if you bring your laptop, you're going to tell them you're not bringing it. And you can go and listen to these 3 replays again and again and again, because now you have the whole framework. And I want to say the plain thing that I've been pointing at since day one. Every single one of these 6 pillars assumes that something is already true underneath them. That your team, your systems, your business model, and all things are leveraged in your business. Nod if you understand what I mean. Okay. So preparing your clients assumes that you have a business model that allows you to have them continue to get results without you being there. Some of you, your entire business model is you. We can change that. We can write this down. Leverage your intellectual property. There are countless permutations of how you can give the results to your clients without you being there for every touch point. You can be there for some touch points, but you don't need to be there for all touch points. I want to stress that your intellectual property is much more powerful than just your presence. Number 2, team empowerment assumes that you have a team ready to own it. Either you don't have a team or you don't have a team strong enough to be able to have somebody be your point person. And sometimes the third part of that is that you have a person in place that is probably a 4 out of 10. Meaning you have a warm body, but you can't have her own the team. Raise your hand if that could be true for you. You have somebody, but she's not fully there, right? So it's important to have the right person in place, and the hiring process that gets that right person uses assessments. Most people don't use assessments to put the right person in place. Okay. Number 3, your operations manual assumes that the systems exist to be documented. And to be honest, you probably don't have the systems, therefore they can't be documented because everything is generated each time. I only share this because I've worked with literally tens of thousands of women. Tens of thousands of women have let me into their business, and I can see there are no systems to document. So they're generating new things all the time. Just raise your hand with love and compassion for self if there are no systems to document, right? So all 6 pillars rest on that foundation. And this is work that we need to do. You need to do, right? And here's what I know about most of you, because I watched it in the chat for the 3 days, is that at least 1 or 2 of those foundations aren't in place. If 1 or 2 or even 3 of those foundations, team, systems, business model are not in place, just put me in the comments. Yeah. I hear you, Maestra. I hear you, Diana, Gina, Cecile, Karina, and need to work on my systems, Amy. Yeah, Barbara, Alex, Colette. So I just want you to know there's nothing wrong with you because I was there, right? My business was hanging on toothpicks and band-aids, even when I got to 7 figures. I got to 7 figures with my house of cards held together with toothpicks and band-aids. But then it couldn't scale unless I put these 3 things in the right place. So what I'm saying is every single person, if you're here, it probably is that you have some strategic blocks in your business. Most of you, it's probably a team strategic block, a business model strategic block, and a systems strategic block. Maybe you have a marketing strategic block. There are other things in there, right? But there are also likely some mindset strategic blocks. No one will do it like me. What are some other mindset strategic blocks? Can you put it in, I can't really, Alex? Yeah, go ahead, Alex.
We were talking about this yesterday, so the mistakes. So I mentioned that I'm an estate planner and I do other work, probate or whatever, but those forms don't matter. But when here in Missouri and other places, the will has to be the original document. Everything else can be a photocopy, but that last will and testament needs to be preserved and taken care of. And so one of my things is when, I have a binding system, the clients obviously don't get like a bunch of loose paper. So I have a system and I want when they're photocopied, I want them to go straight into the scanner and the copier. And when they're bound, I absolutely want that paper to be precisely put in. I do not want my clients getting something like this as their will. Because A, that looks shit. And B, it's an important document. I don't want 20 years from now a judge to go, oh, who prepared this? Oh, AJ Legal Services? Because it will look like that. That will be the response. That would be my response if I find a really important document. So the mistakes issue, my big thing is I try not to be a Karen at a restaurant or in public, but for my business and for my clients and their paperwork, I want that packet to go. I have the systems and actually have it documented. My issue is that sometimes I don't get the execution that I want.
Do you want to know the strategic blocks and the mindset blocks?
Sure.
Okay. Strategic block 2. Number 1, you haven't actually spelled it out and said, I don't want this to be sloppy. I want each corner to fit in. And here's a picture of what I want it to look like. And here's this, and here's this, and here's this. Okay. That's number 1. I'm not shouting at you. I am so passionate about this. That's number 1. You haven't actually given them exactly how you want it. Okay. Number 2, you keep being dragged in because you don't have a second in command or somebody who has said, gotcha, Alex, I am going to be your quality control person. So if you think about it, like I'm a big foodie, right? I cook a lot. You follow me on Instagram, you go to my stories, you'll see everything I make all the time, right? But I spend a lot of times in restaurants, and the head chef is like they have somebody when the plate goes through the pass-through, there is somebody who is wiping the plate, checking that every like little radish thingy leaf is in the right place. Right now, you're doing that and writing the things and buying the light bulbs and sending the emails and emptying the garbage and everything. So strategically speaking, you have a process systems problem and a team problem. Mindset wise, the mindset block is no one will do it like me. There will be mistakes. My reputation is on the line. Why would I let anybody do this if I can do it better? Why should I pay somebody that I can do it better, etc.? That is just a few of the strategic blocks that you have and a few of the mindset blocks. I'm not making you wrong. I have strategic blocks. I have mindset blocks. Everybody else here has strategic blocks and mindset blocks, but we cannot give ourselves a good haircut. So left to your own devices, if I can just be super honest, I'm talking to all of you, right? Left to our own devices, we're kind of hanging out thinking, why am I not getting ahead? We're not seeing our own blocks. Is that true, Alex?
No, I mean, I have it all done. It's just that, I would be so happy to pay someone. I pay a good rate for my paralegals and for my admins. It's just, I don't hire very well. I think that's part of my
Which is
thing,
a
you know,
team, it's a team block.
team building thing. Yeah.
It-
And I
it-
think that people, I mean, I have stood next to people in the copy room and said, like the corners thing and be nice and straight and whatever. And I think people just get, time pressured, like we're trying to do it quickly. I build in time.
Are
I
you,
make
are
sure
you,
that we're not like under pressure for that.
are you open
Um,
to me pushing back lovingly?
yes, yes.
Okay. You told them how you want it. You didn't type it out with pictures. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
And you hired people, but you didn't do assessments to know if they are people who are really into systems and follow through and discipline and consistency and deliberative people. You hired based on personality, experience, and skill set, not on wiring.
So I should hire somebody as OCD as I am, is what
Yes,
I mean, am I hearing? Uh-huh.
exactly. Exactly. Thank you for being open to the coaching, Alex, right? So
Yeah.
that when I say that, that's when a lot of us think that we're doing it and it's not working. And so we stay stuck in it because we don't see our own blocks. And so being able to take 14 weeks off is the exact same process that allows you to scale your business revenues and scale your impact without overwhelm, without overworking, without sacrificing your personal life, your evenings, your weekends, your vacation, your sanity. And it's a different kind of work that what I taught you. I can teach you the 6 pillars in 3 hours. I just did. And you can put it into your own business. But there are complexities. Everybody here has different strategic blocks. Everybody here has different mindset blocks. Does that make sense?
Can I jump in, Fabian, for a minute?
Yeah, yeah.
Being an educator 25 plus years, I just wanted to tell you, Alex, I put it in the chat really for everybody. There are, I
Okay.
think we don't realize this, but there are auditory learners and there are visual learners. And sounds like you have a visual learner. And that's why Fabienne is telling you take pictures and show it to them. Then you give them that chance. If that doesn't work, it might be a hiring thing, right? So it's also about, because my company does a lot of executive functioning. So you got to keep in mind that a lot of people don't have those kind of skills. So she's right in terms of the hiring. And you just kind of have to give, I think we think that the way we do it is the way it has to be done. That's in our brains, right? And there's multiple other ways to do things, but that's how we've been taught. And then we get stuck. So then it does become a mindset thing. You're right, Fabian.
Thank you
I'm
so much,
laughing at
Ellen.
everything you said because
Yeah, I'm really glad you said that. And I think what it comes down to is that every one of us has ideas of what is stopping us from scaling our business. We have ideas about it, but you're probably not sure as to all that's getting in the way. Does that make sense, everybody?
can't see it.
Yeah,
Like you said,
can't
you're
see
in
it.
it and you can't
Yeah.
see it.
You can't give yourself a good haircut. So here's what I want to say. I am not offering anything today other than help. So I can help. And to be clear, there is nothing for sale today. There's no hype. All I'm offering is to help you figure out what's getting in the way. What would be good about that? Can you put something in the comments? What would be good about me showing you where your strategic blocks and your mindset blocks are? More solid, Maestra? Clarity gives focus and direction, Karina. A new vision, Barbara. Creating momentum, Anne. Can't see it ourselves sometimes, Amy. Knowledge is power, Colette. More freedom, growth, expansion, Helen. Tony, actual life. Yeah. Alex, could let go of my fear of success. So what I can do is invite you to connect with me one-to-one at no charge for 1 full hour. I've learned that hype and overselling on events like this doesn't work for people like us. Are you honored by that? Meaning in the sense, like, do you get, like, you don't want me to hit you with a 2x4 right now and tell you about all my programs. Is that true? Put yes in the comments. Okay. 1 full hour. So while you may actually be curious about why so many women have worked with me over 25 years, why they call me the OG, and they've gone on to 7 figures with me and with 14 weeks of vacation, it all starts with a diagnosis. It all starts with an audit of your business. So no, I'm not selling anything. I'm going to continue to give to you. I was talking to one of our clients, Terry, on the Q&A call. She's in my signature program, Leverage. Was talking to her on Monday, and we were talking about something else. And I said, why did you choose to work with me? And she said, it was your heart. And I said, Terry, there's a lot of people out there teaching business coaching. She goes, it was your heart and your generosity. You give and you give and you give. You give us results in advance. You build the trust. Karina, you've seen me give and give and give in other spaces before and never asking anything in return. So my invitation to you today is this. And no 7-figure business owner that I know of or have heard of with a solid reputation like mine offers what I'm about to offer you if you qualify. I am going to give you 1 hour with me, a business audit. Now, park this in your notes, or a team, if you can put boldheart.com/call or boldheart. There's like one that says business audit. The team can put it into the comments. Click on that if you want to apply for 1 hour with me. If you listen to my podcast, you know that I make a few hours of these available, these business audits available each month to personally connect with you, right? And it's to help you map out what's not working and what to do instead. It's a full hour one-on-one with me on your business specifically. It's not my team. It's me. It's not a sales pitch. It's a strategy that you can use whether you and I never consider working together or if you want to ask me questions. Now, you may be asking, why are you doing this? Well, I'm going to give you something that doesn't make sense in the business world. And maybe because I'm maybe a little neurodivergent and I believe in authenticity. I am here to help. These business audits hit all 5 of my top strengths in Clifton Strengths. It's woo, futuristic, positivity, strategic, communication. If you let me look at your business, you answer some questions ahead of time. I prepare ahead of time. A good 15, 20 minutes, sometimes a half hour. There's no charge for this. And then I hop on a Zoom with you. We connect. Diana, you and I did this recently, right? Yeah. Yeah. So Diana, you validate, right? It's like, we talked everything I'm saying, right? So it's an honest look. And I say to you, here are where I believe your strategic blocks are, and here are where I believe your mindset blocks are, right? This is what's getting in the way. And so if you feel like you're stuck in your business or getting to even 8 weeks off, completely protected is impossible for you right now, I will also help you map out what to do about it. So not only am I diagnosing what's not working strategically and mindset wise, there's also the business audit one, Karina. I just say the boldheart.com/call because otherwise I'd be like business-audit- da 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 da. So, but yeah, it's the same thing. They redirect to you're so smart. Thank you. And then we map out how to close the gap for you, where you are here, the way you close the gap. This is your roadmap. And you walk away with your roadmap and you can either apply it on your own or at some point in the call, you can say, Fabienne, can you tell me about your programs? And I will be happy to tell you about my programs. But it is not me who is pushing this on you. What's good about me sharing that? Can you put something in the comments? There's no pressure. I don't want to insult your intelligence. Especially women walk through this world, you know what I mean. We walk through this world where people always want a piece of us. Is that true? Right? We can see them coming. They want something from us that we don't want to give. I'm saying it. And so you're going to decide whether you want to ask me about the programs. I really do want to help, Barbara. Yeah, you have to want it. You want to take the initiative, right? The initiative will come from you, right? Thank you, Tony. Thanks for being here. So this is where I look at it. We map out the map, and you saw a little bit of it in what I did with Thea, but I was on the hot seat with Thea yesterday, but I didn't have her questionnaire. I didn't look at her website. I didn't really know anything about her business, right? But this is that, but in depth for an hour together, not 8 minutes. And you leave with your answer whether or not we ever work together. So that's what I propose to you. I'm going to give you a minute. You can go to team. Can you put the link again? If it feels right. And listen, if it does not feel right, if you have to be at a certain level of your business. Okay. If you don't have a business or you're barely scraping by, we don't need to talk about team. We don't need to talk about systems because you need to work on just getting your first few clients. Right? So this is my jam. I'm exceptionally good at diagnosing what isn't working in your business and giving you a plan. The plan is going to be for 24 months. It's not for 12 weeks. And if you want my eyes on your business and you want to be in a private conversation with me for an hour at no charge, it's boldheart.com/call. Right? You can go there now. There are going to be limited times on my calendar. So the sooner I don't know how to say that. The sooner you get on, the sooner you get with me. You have to have some traction in your business, Alex, but just fill out the thing and I'll look at your questions. I'll look at your answers. And then, like I said, I will prepare. And some of you are thinking that you should fix a few things before you book a call with me. And I just want to say that that's probably backwards because the audit is for the gap. It's not after you've closed the gap. So I want you to come mid-mess, right? It's like you don't go to the doctor after you healed your broken arm. You go with your broken arm, right? So that's when it's going to be most useful. If I can't help you, I'll tell you so, right? And what I will say is that if you're not ready for if you're sitting here and you're like, okay, I know I want to work with you. I may not be ready for your signature program. I'll put something in the recap email. I do have an opportunity. I haven't launched it yet. This is the first time I'm talking about it publicly. It's called the Bold Heart Collective. I'll put a link to that in the email. This is for you if you want to work with me affordably without you could just work with me for 1 month. You get your strategic plan. You can have a private one-on-one strategy call with me. You can have the community, the mastermind, all that. I'm not going to talk about that today. I'll put the link in the recap email. All right. So I'm giving you some next steps in case I went to a Brendan Burchard event one time. This was probably it's when I still lived in the States. And I was like, it was like 3, 4, or 5 days. And I was like waiting. I'm like, tell me, I know he has a mastermind. I want to work with him. And you know what? He didn't give me a next step. He offered nothing. And I was so pissed. I was like, I want a next step. So your next step with me is the business audit, or I'll give you, if you want, I'll give you the link to the collective just so you have it. Where is it? If you want to check it out. But I want to wrap this up by telling you that your potential is infinitely greater than you realize. I think that especially women, and most of us here are women, we don't have the advantage. Is it okay if I stay on my soapbox and say what I really want to say? Say what you want to say and let the words fall out. This is the first time in history that women have had their own business in our lifetime. 50 or 60 years. My mother had a business, but my mother never got to 7 figures. She never got to 6 figures in her own business. I didn't have an example. Was your mother a 7-figure business owner? You tell me. When you were in school, were your friends' mothers 6 or 7-figure business owners? Were they even business owners? And I'm not talking about Avon or all those things. No. So we only have the experience of 50 or 60 years of seeing women have their own business in a man's world. I love the men. I said it before. I'll say it again. Okay. But we are operating I've been in all the men's masterminds where they're having jalapeno eating contests. And I'm like, what the bleep? Where is the actual instruction? Okay. They're teaching, I learned a lot, I had to translate it. They're teaching ways that men thrive in business. You and I don't thrive that way. We thrive in community. We thrive with encouragement. We thrive with the right mindset. We thrive when another woman says, I see you. Don't you say that about yourself. Don't talk like that about yourself. I see you bigger than that. Gina, do you agree? Where we can say, this is your brilliance. Let me reflect it back to you. Let me hold you accountable. You're going to step up on that stage. I'm going to text you right before. I'm going to build you up. And then when you step off the stage, I'm going to say, I knew you could do it. Would you agree that that's how women thrive? Not in competition, not in isolation. So wherever you go, get yourself a community of other ambitious women, healthy ambition, who are generous, who are kind, who are loving, who are encouraging. Get yourself a mentor who has done it consistently for more than a decade, who is kind and generous, and who will believe in you probably harder than you believe in yourself, at least in the beginning. And get yourself a strategy that works. Get yourself some mindset shifts that'll help you take action in a different way, wherever you get that. I would be honored if one day our paths cross again. I'd love to go around the room, even for iPhone and Janine and Catherine and Kimberly and whoever's not on video. I'd love to hear what you liked most about either today or the last 3 days. What was your biggest insight? How are you feeling? Who wants to go first? Maestra. I am loving your daisy, first of all.
and
Like
I can't get it off of there.
I am so captivated. I'm like, how do you do that?
I don't. It's in the Zoom feature.
I love
But I've
it.
got to get it off when I'm not, with friends.
No,
So
I actually love it. I think you should keep it.
I
What did
would
you love most?
I would say the supportive companionship that you convey and your brilliant way of encouraging us to work with you without the hype, without the sell, the hard sell. And I feel like I could lose my fear and actually get started because I've been paying people and paying people and paying for things and paying for things, and I have not been able to close the gap. I've lost money in my self-funded whatever this is
Yeah.
and had my job on the side and my family, and I want to go into retirement. And
Yeah.
if I could do it at 55 in September, I would. But I have to have things in place, with the benefits and stuff. And I want the time that you're talking about when I do step away from teaching. So
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you so much for all the love and all the nodding and all the high fives and all the yeses. Like you participated so big, Maestra. And I
Thank
just want to
you.
say so much from my heart to yours.
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed your company.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Y veremos. We'll see each other again.
We'll see each other again. Mwah. Thank you. Who wants to go first? It's okay, Janine. You can go watch the recordings. I'm so glad you were here. Who wants to go next? I'm a words of affirmation girl on the 5 languages of love. So if you want to give me words, go ahead.
I think for me, you know, um, I recently met a woman who's in my area of law. She's another attorney, and she's kind of taken me under her wing. And she's one of those people that, like I'm Latina on my mom's side. Mili, que gusto. Mais je parle aussi français.
Ah là là,
Oui,
c'est
j'ai vécu en
magnifique.
France und ich kann eigentlich auch Deutsch. Also, um, uh, but she's kind of one of those people that, like a Latina grandmother, just takes you under her wing, whether and she's not Latina at all, and but that's her character, her personality. And through that, I have started meeting with solo attorneys. And honestly, with everything happening, AI, encroachment into the legal field, and everything that's happening, I was like, and I'm still not 100% because in order to, I'm very private with my data in order to protect my clients' data as well as I protect my own or better. As a solo practitioner, it's challenging. We've commented, I do guard my reputation as carefully as I can. And so, but being with other women, I think one of the things that had maybe never really been able to articulate or put my finger on, but had had this sense is what you're talking about. Women grow their businesses differently because even though there are many female attorneys now, not that many of us are solos, actually. I mean, among the solo practitioner, it's definitely a highly male dominated area. We don't have that much diversity. I think we have a lot of like LGBTQI plus diversity. We don't and maybe have as much ethnic or racial diversity here in Missouri. You know, it's still not that diverse of a state. And my field is therefore so hearing like all these new concepts, this notion like, wow, yes, that's what I mean. You know, I'm seeing my male colleagues build their businesses in certain ways. And, you know, no, as you say, no disrespect to anybody else and how they do their business. And they're making more money than me. So, you know, whatever. But the product and service that I want to provide to my clients is not the same. And I think part of what I'm realizing now is exactly like I want you know, your words, I think it was yesterday that you know, women that we build community and that oxytocin is so important and in our business. And that's really important to me. I've been at jobs where I was practicing law, but not my own business. And the office politics were terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. It was so stressful and distracting. And, you know, I just kept out of office gossip as much as I could. But it was, I told a colleague this. It was like being on a football field where a game is being played, politics are flying back and forth, right? And you're saying, I'm not going to play the game. I'm just going to walk across this field while this game, and it wasn't possible. I got tackled, I got thrown down, I had to like push back in some
Yeah.
situations. And so
We need
just
something different. We need something
we
different as
do.
well.
Like all of these concepts are just I've loved every day. I've taken and I value my time because I bill by the hour. It's really great.
Thank you, Alex. I really enjoyed that you spoke up so much, that you, every time I was like, raise your hand, you were raising your hand. Like, just thank you for your presence and your heart and your questions. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you. Karina and I are friends in a like separate life as well. And we're wearing the same color.
We are, yes. I just want to thank you so much. And for everybody else here, Fabienne and I know each other. And the way I know her is exactly as she is here now. This is her. She's authentic. She is very, very generous. And she's also very passionate about helping us. And I think for me, I can feel I can be vulnerable with Fabienne. I can be myself. I can allow myself to say that it's not all sunshine and roses without feeling that I have to pretend otherwise. And I think that's one of the many amazing things about you. So thank you so much for these 3 days.
Thank you, sister friend. And
I want to thank you.
Mhm.
And some years back, I did 90 days Cass Infusion
Oh,
where
yes.
was there, and I was actually in Florida at
Oh,
the
yes.
intensive retreat. And what is funny to see, and actually today, is that I have an accountability body from back then, and we are actually in other areas being accountability bodies. And participating here shows me how much I have grown into the person and how much my mindset and identity have changed since then.
Oh my
Thank you.
God, that must have been you, and you must have been in my world at least 10 years because I haven't done an in-person mindset retreat in at least I think 8 to 10 years. And now it's not called mindset retreat, it's called mindset deep dive. And Cash Infusion is now called the Money Magnet Club. So you are old school.
Yeah, but it was in Florida, and I think it was right before COVID.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, those two programs are now in the Bold Heart Collective as part of the thing, which is so funny. Thank you so much for being here, Anne, and thank you for your questions and your smiles and your thoughtfulness. I really appreciate you being here.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Alex. Thank you. Colette, do you want to say something? You do? Bye, my
Sure.
angel.
I listened to the replays of the first 2 days, so I did listen to everything. But what really, I'm not necessarily your ideal client because I'm not even at the three figures yet. But what I gleaned that was so helpful, and one of the things I'm trying to prioritize in my life, and I have it on my list of new habits I'm trying to create, is to have my brain be off duty regardless, because I have just too many open loops in life, and I'm always looking for things that close those open loops, which is similar to what you said about the digital detox kind of thing.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like, because I'm slowly getting better and better at closing those open loops quicker, which
Yeah.
is helpful. And even though I'm not at the right position right now to leverage my current business, it's something new I want to create. And what you said about it really clarified to me having systems as I go forth, so I can create a manual as I'm on my way of everything that's working for me, so that I am set up for success, to get great help and to hire a 10, not a 4. Like, if I'm clear on what I want and what I want the end result to be, then they can have creative lead way to do it even better than I would know how, and I can let them be the expert. So I feel like this was lovely, and I couldn't not come live to one of these because I have done so in the past with your classes. Even though I'm not at the right spot right now, I will be at some point soon. And this is just so helpful. And not only with my business, but I have been diligently working on creating systems for all the areas of my life that are bottlenecked.
Yes.
And what I've done so far for my body care is the same thing now that I want to apply to my business. I actually did find a way to, over the the last, I guess, since January, I have lost over 11 pounds just since January without GLP, like by just stacking one good habit after the other, taking one thing, mastering it, then being like, ooh, what's next? And adding it to the list, just stacking one good habit at a time. And I'm going to apply this same thing to business. Like, you helped me clarify from this. I can do this with business and start the thing already that I've wanted to start for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And I will have passive income and active income.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited, and I love it. So thank you.
And you know what? Maybe one day you'll join me in the collective. Like, you don't have to be at a certain level to be in the collective. It's not for now necessarily, but I'm just planting that seed. But
Yeah.
what I will say is, are you listening to my podcast, Colette?
Sometimes I
Okay.
rotate between different things, but it's I spoke with you near the beginning of your podcast, and actually on a different thing you did, and it was about the Fakosha bread incident. And
Oh, yeah.
the beginning ones, and I kind of rotate depending on what phase of life and brain I'm in, like, to different things. So I will circle back. Yes.
I am so glad you came live after listening to 2 recordings.
Well, I am too. And what always impresses me with your things, you really know how to naturally be inclusive, make everybody be seen and heard. And you do it so naturally. And that is a skill I want to learn for when I do my next step forward. So it's just so nice seeing it modeled. And I did meet you in person once, way back in LA, like, oh my God.
Oh my
like
God. That was
15
like
or 20 years ago.
At least I haven't done anything in LA
I
in that
know.
long.
So I met you live in person once, and then I spoke with you one other time on one other call about the Fakosha bread incident timing. So you're in my radar, but I always keep, like, you keep popping in there, and I'm like, how can I
I'm here.
not be in Fabienne's presence live for one of these classes? So thank you.
You have warmed my heart with your presence, with your words, with your smile. Mwah. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Yeah.
Thanks.
Laura, do you want to share something?
Yes. Well, my first thing is thank you for inviting even the ability to share, right? Calling you up inside of a group. I mean, just such a beautiful invitation. And it's an example of how to do a virtual experience where you don't have to commit 3 full days. And instead, you're able to do a little touch point for several days in a row. And in the end, it's a beautiful gesture to say, if you would like to request additional invitations, but you've already demonstrated invitations you've extended. It's a beautiful model to experience and just a slight tweak to what I've ever done previously. And I think there's something about the energy of the season of life I'm in right now that this might be another alternative for client attraction. And getting to experience it, right, as a client helps you then understand what part of that potentially you'd like to incorporate into your own, offerings. So
Thank
you for demonstrating that.
Thank you for that feedback and validation. I really appreciate you being here and your big smile. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to say thank you for all of you who were here. Thank you for those who turned on their videos so I can see your smile, see your eyes. I am here if you need me. Reporting for duty. Whenever you're ready. As we've done the last couple days, unmute your lines. Even if you're not showing your video, unmute all your audio lines. And I'm going to be sad not to see you tomorrow. Lots of love, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining. Bye.
Bye-bye.